Hello, my name is Jesse. This is the Auditorium. I react to video game music as a musician myself. This is a Patreon request for Lord Daddy, The Return of Etrian Odyssey. This is Etrian Odyssey 2 Untold, The Night of Fafnir, and the song is called Battlefield Scatter About. This is a 2-for-1 video because I'm checking out the Super Arrange right after it, also called Battlefield Scatter About. Composed by Yuzo Koshiro, who just had a birthday, a fellow December baby like myself. Okay, so let's go. I've had no qualms with EO. It's really good music, so I'm assuming this one's going to be good as well. This is Scatter About from EO Untold 2. Odd timing. Spiraling out of control. Doesn't have your like traditional groove, it's more like a mechanical thing. I did notice the bongos in the background very faintly. A lot of experimentation. Yeah, you can hear that. We got organic sounds, electronic sounds, weird sounds, that little kind of vocal electronic sound. This one's out. Gonna hold my thoughts. The second one is the Super Arrange, about 5 minutes. Let's go. I'm very curious what this one's gonna sound like. It's probably gonna sound a lot more like real instruments, but I'm curious what they kept and changed. Let's go. Sounds so much better just because of the instruments. It feels way more alive now, but it's still weird. I just keep imagining like machinery, moving parts, gears, It sounds like it would be an Apes game. That kind of quirky sound. Super hard to follow though, as far as like moving your head and why it's one of the weirdest songs I've had on the channel, composition wise. It sounds like a drug trip. The drums are incredibly impressive in this one. Shout out to whoever recorded those. Yeah, those drums are working overtime right now. Wow. This is interesting. Loop? Oh, that was it. Oh, I think my air came on. Sorry if you hear that in the background. Okay. Wow, that was weird because I knew this one was longer, like twice as long as the first one. It didn't feel like that though. I was actually so like interested in what was going on that actually went by really quick. That did not feel like 5 minutes to me. That felt like 2, and I just was waiting for the next part. That was so wild. To be totally honest, I've said this before, but the second one obviously has been done later on and recorded properly with instruments and all that. But to me, that sounded like it's like what its potential was originally going for the first time. Maybe due to limitations, it couldn't do that, but that sounded awesome, but in a really bizarre, wacky way. Let's start with the first one. The first one, I was kind of deceived for a bit because I hear this bass line right away, and immediately up front and center I thought it was gonna be like this kind of funky track and, you know, just kind of more emphasis on rhythm. But then it just turned into like spiraling out of control. It felt kind of uncomfortable and really weird. There was there was groove. I just don't know. I'm gonna have to ask like a percussionist in the comments, like what grooves were those? What time signatures were those? Because I couldn't follow it. And I noticed there was a lot of bongos, the little just kind of everywhere, but turned down. I don't think there was bongos in the second one. So it was everywhere, right? It was just weird. And it's called Battlefield Scatterbout. The name is very fitting, Scatterbout. But the Battlefield part makes me think like, I highly doubt this is just like a battle theme. It feels like a boss theme. And a very specific boss theme because it's it has so much personality. So I kept thinking like, if this is a boss, it's got to be like, 2 things came to mind, like machinery, factory, nuts and bolts, that kind of stuff. But also, if it is a boss, it was also either in the same realm as like machinery, or also, but on the wacky side, like maybe even like a clown or something like that. You know, something just really odd and creepy about this person. That's what I kept getting overwhelmingly. The second one, this is where it gets even wackier, but in a cool way. halfway through the song, I was thinking, I'm like, you know what? I don't know when this was recorded, but I'm guessing it's before what I'm about to say. But in recent times, there's been kind of like this development, new genre called like math rock, mathcore, stuff like that. And I feel like Yuzo might have accidentally like invented a genre, because it's kind of like that. You know, I can't think of like a specific band that does that. You guys are gonna have to chime in here, but the first things that come to mind are like Animals as Leaders or Polyphia, which is really big right now. I could be wrong, but that's kind of what like the whole genre sounds like. There's kind of these weird scattered noises. But yeah, that was, I was thinking that the whole time. This one had a lot more emphasis on the piano, which I thought was the best part of both songs. It really brought this cool dynamic to the song. It felt like, it felt real. I can't explain it. It just felt really professional. Like they added that. It sounded kind of jazzy at times. It sounded very chaotic. It sounded like ragtime. It sounded just out of tune. It sounded out of key. It was cool. The piano was really a cool addition to it. And then in this one, where I don't think they had bongos, I didn't hear it, they got replaced by like a super impressive drummer. And I'm talking like, shout out to this drummer, because they were playing so many different types of fills, rolls, you know, all these things. And it was hard to keep track. I feel like in this song, every piece of that drum kit got hit. Every little thing. I might have even heard a triangle in there. I don't know. But this was one of the weirder songs I've had on my entire channel. And by weird, I mean just like non-traditional. Like, you know, what is normal and subjective. But you know what I mean. When we think of a song, we think of like a groove 4/4 beat. Blah, 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 blah. This was just one of those like, huh? The closest thing I can think of that I've done on this channel, it was Almighty Buenavelza from FF13. I did that a long time ago. But you'll kind of maybe get where I'm going with this. Was has like this kind of just weird, you know? But it's cool because it caught my attention. I like weird. Weird is, you know, I like different. I like things that don't really blend in. But like I said, those 5 minutes just kind of went by. I was seeing where it could go. Unfortunately, it ended like right away, but the title of the song is very, very fitting. Scatter About. Where it plays, I have no clue. But I can tell you that Yuzo, I mean, the guy has a lot of broad taste and a lot of, he just has a huge palette of sounds. But I feel like this one was maybe something that like he's had on the back burner and was like afraid to show like the studio, like, where can I use this thing? It's just one of those songs. I feel like every artist, whether you draw or write music, they all have that one like weird child that they're not sure when to bring to light, when to bring out of the dungeon. And this is one of them. Etrian Odyssey so far has not sounded anything like this. And it just shows me that the soundtrack is pretty unique. You know, I wouldn't have guessed that is. It's unique in its own way. It's not like where I can be like for example, like when I hear Risk of Rain stuff, I'm like, that is from the game Risk of Rain. I can tell that's them. But I can't tell when it's an Etrian Odyssey song, if that makes sense. It's unique where like everything sounds cool and quirky, but I can't like tell it's its own like distinct stamp. At least not yet, because it's just so diverse. So, and this is Etrian Odyssey Untold 2. I don't know if that's different from 2. I don't know how many games there are, but there seems to be a lot of them. But yeah, that's what I got. I got weird machinery, creepy clown boss thing. Take it how you will. Cool. Out of 600 something songs that I've checked out, one of 2 that are extremely strange. So that's something. Also, the requester, you should check out the one I just mentioned earlier, or you if you're watching the Almighty Bunavelza. It was one of my not first reactions, but probably in the first like 50 reactions that I did. I remember it specifically because I was just like, what are all these dissonant noises? Anyways, awesome. Etrian Odyssey always delivers, whether it's no bad. There's been no bad. I was gonna say whether good or bad. It's just whether good or odd. But EO is very cool. Shout out Yuzo. If you want to make a request to me, you could do so on Patreon or PayPal. Either are totally fine if you don't mind waiting. There is a huge waitlist as I am recording this. If you do not want to wait, there is the Platinum Trophy tier on Patreon, which I provide, and that skips the line, basically. A big thank you to my current supporters of that, Kevin, Patrick, Shadow Maxim, Vanadel, Turn Arclight, Kalinin, and Gardelane. Thank you all so much. Thanks to you for watching. And my name is Jesse. This has been the Auditorium. I will see you dudes and dudettes in the next one. Peace.